Let's talk about walking and the benefits of walking, especially if you are over the age of 40, especially if you are a woman in perimenopause and menopause, and the benefits of what walking can do for you, not just your body, but for your mind as well. If you feel overwhelmed or feel that you can't afford a gym membership or a personal trainer and have to find ways to strength train and work out and need it to be free, walking is one of the best ways that you can actually exercise for free. It's sustainable. You can do it anywhere, at any time, in any country. And it has so many health benefits to it as well. So today's video, I'm going to share 10 health benefits of what walking can do for you. I'm also going to talk about the benefits of doing it with a weighted vest as well, but it's not necessary. So rather than me keep rambling, my name is Rachel. I'm a fitness enthusiast, fitness instructor, menopause coach and dance teacher, and I love talking anything health and well-being to hopefully live a longer and happier, fulfilled life. So if you like the same kind of thing, like talking about health and wellness, as well as doing some at-home workouts, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel. But let's get into the 10 benefits of why walking is very beneficial for our health. So number one is that walking is very gentle on our joints. Now, as we age, anybody ages over the age of 40, our muscles and our joints start to become a little bit weaker and recovery time takes a little bit longer. Basically, our joints just naturally have wear and tear on them, like any old thing. And the thought of then doing some high impact exercises just doesn't seem as appealing anymore, because I used to absolutely love doing lots of squat jumps, lots of high intensity workouts, and I still enjoy those workouts and I still do some of those workouts, but I don't do them very often and I do less repetitions of them because my joints feel it a lot quicker and a lot more than they used to. Whereas walking is much more effective and so much low impact on our joints, not just our knees, but our ankles and our hips as well. And if we are someone that has an office job and you sit for long periods of time, getting up and going for a walk can reduce stiffness and encourage circulation, which helps keeps our joints more mobile. If you use a weighted vest, now you don't have to use a weighted vest if you don't want to. They're not a huge investment, between 20 and 30 pounds. Sometimes you can get them cheaper. Or if you have weights at home, small dumbbells, you could put them in a rucksack and put that on and you could walk with those as well. But a weighted vest actually adds more resistance to you, but it doesn't increase the impact of the exercise that you're doing. So it's still a low impact exercise, but with more resistance. Plus, a vest or a rucksack with weights in will distribute the weight a bit more evenly, which allows you to walk like a normal person rather than carrying dumbbells and doing a farmer's walk. It can actually just encourage you to walk normally, but you have that extra resistance without the higher impact. So if you have never used a weighted vest before, then you can use a rucksack and put some weights in there if you feel more comfortable with. If you want to use a weighted vest, you can buy ones that are already £5, £10, but there are also some weighted vests that you can buy that you can add more weight to it as you get stronger and stronger. So I will link a few of them in a description box below for you, so you can go and have a look at some of those and see which ones would be more suited for you. So you can start light and then build up the weight as you go on. Number two is actually supports weight management. Now, when you're over 40, you will start to see your body composition change slightly, and that's just natural as we age. I'm nearly 43 and I actually feel that as well. I can see my body composition starting to change. Do I like it? No, I don't. But I know what I have to do to try and make it a little bit easier on my body. This happens because we have hormonal shifts, especially if you are a woman over 40 hitting the perimenopause and menopause stage of your life, because we have stress of life, a lack of sleep, and just a general slower metabolism as we get older. So with all of those things, it can be a little bit more challenging to maintain a healthy weight. But walking can actually help change that body composition, because walking can actually increase your daily calorie burn, which is something that you can do regularly just by doing 30 minutes a day. May not feel like a lot, especially if you're going walking with a friend or you put your headphones in, listen to a podcast, listen to music, and you get 30 minutes of escape of just walking somewhere. But over the coming weeks and the coming months, you will start to see changes in your body, because those small actions all add up. Now, if you add a weighted vest in there as well, it just increases the effort for the walk. Like I said, your daily calorie burn will increase. Your also heart needs to work a little bit harder as well, and your muscles need to work a bit harder too. So if you already walk on a regular basis and want a little bit more of a challenge, add a weighted vest or a rucksack with weights. Number 3, it improves our heart health. Now, I just slightly mentioned that in number 2, but walking can actually help with your heart health, which as we age is really, really important that we look after our heart. So when we're younger, I feel that we're always looking at how our body looks and we want to make it look a certain way. And I think even as we get older, I mean, definitely for me, I wish my body looked a different way than it does. But more importantly, it's now more about how my body can work and how it can work the best way it can. And one of those things is really focusing on my heart health. And walking is such a great way of doing that, because walking can strengthen and improve the circulation of your heart. So walking is a fantastic cardiovascular exercise without the high impact. So you don't always feel like you are putting in a ton of effort and sweating a lot, but it's still just as effective. So just by walking, you can have healthier blood pressure. So if you've got high blood pressure, a walk will actually help. You don't need to do hours of walking. Just start small, 10, 15 minutes, and then next day another 10 to 15 minutes, and over time, when that feels easier, add an extra 5 minutes on. If you have high blood pressure and your doctor says it's okay for you to do a little bit of exercise, walking is a great place to start, because it starts bringing your blood pressure down. It can also improve your circulation, increase your cardiovascular fitness, which is what we all want. We want to keep fit and healthy, and most importantly, it can reduce the risk of heart disease, especially as you get older. Now, you don't have to go for a fast-paced walk. A moderate-paced walk provides so many benefits. Now, if you add a weighted vest on there, it's going to make your heart work a little bit more. You're going to improve your cardiovascular a little bit more, and it makes it slightly more challenging for you. But the main thing is, it's just consistency. Start with no weighted vest and then build into it as you get stronger, fitter, and your cardiovascular fitness gets better as well. Number 4, one of my favourite reasons that I personally walk, I walk every single day for at least 30 to 40 minutes a day. And this is one of the main reasons I do it, is because it boosts my mental well-being. Now, as a woman in her 40s, also a single parent to a lovely little boy, sometimes I need to de-stress. There's a lot going on. I need to remember everything. There's a lot of responsibilities that I need to juggle all in one go. We're working, we're caring for our children, we're supporting family members, we're trying to keep a home clean and tidy and safe for our children. Plus, any other stress can build up really, really quickly. For me, being able to go out and walk for 30 minutes with or without my headphones just gives me 30 minutes of a break from my life, just to walk and just to think and just to get rid of any bad energy that I may have. It's also a great time for me to process any emotions I may be feeling. If you watch my other channel, Solo Mum to One, you know I've just moved house. It was very stressful. The last few months have been very stressful. Going for that 30-minute walk every day has been so helpful for my mental well-being. Now, you can do walking indoors, especially if the weather is absolutely rubbish, but walking outdoors, I feel, is so much better. It reduces stress, it improves my mood, it eases my anxiety, which is something I really suffer with, and it eases my anxiety. And in the perimenopause and menopause stage of our life, then anxiety is a huge symptom that a lot of women have. And it just increases our feeling of being healthier and our feeling of well-being. And I saw this quote once and I absolutely loved it, and it said, sometimes the best therapy is just putting one foot in front of the other. Now, I used to go walking without a weighted vest. I've only had my weighted vest this year. I think I bought it this year, and since I've been using that, when I walk, it does actually make me feel a little bit more grounded and a little bit more present with myself, because I feel grounded. I've got something heavy on me, and when I take it off, I just feel like I'm taking off all the emotions of the day and I'm ready to go and start the rest of the day with my son, because I usually walk before I pick up my son from school. One thing I also realised as well is when I do have my weighted vest on, I hold myself better, because I've got to have my posture a little bit better to make sure that I'm carrying the weighted vest correctly, the lower I go, the more backache I have. So it actually helps improve my posture. So that's why I love a weighted vest on my walks. Number 5, it actually increases my energy. So I usually go for a walk, like I said, just before I pick up my son, before I get all the craziness and the mayhem and the mum taxi of all the activities we need to do that evening. And usually people say they don't have the energy to exercise, whereas really exercising, even going for a walk, is going to give you more energy. And I always find that I get more energy after I've been for my walk, because walking increases the blood flow through the body. Like I said, after I've been for my walk, I always feel more alert and I feel more productive, which is why I do it just before the school run. And like I said before, a weighted vest can add a little bit more resistance to your walk, which can contribute to improved energy levels through everyday activities. Number 6 is support your bone strength, because as we get older, especially for women over the age of 40 in the perimenopause and menopause stage of their life, our bones become a little bit weaker, because as our estrogen levels decline, our bones become weaker. So we need to make sure that we are doing exercise, especially strength training, and walking is a great exercise as well, to be able to keep our bones nice and strong. And walking can actually support our bone strength. Walking is actually a weight bearing exercise, meaning that our bones actually support our body weight as we walk, which helps stimulate bone maintenance and our long-term bone health. So walking is excellent for supporting our bone strength. Now, there are other things that we can do, a few jumps that we can do, which I'll go into another video later on, but there are other things that you could do to really strengthen up those bones. But walking, if you are a complete beginner, walking is a great way to start. Now, if you have a weighted vest, this is one of the biggest advantages of having a weighted vest and going for a walk with a weighted vest, because the extra weight of a weighted vest actually puts more weight on our bones, but in a much more controlled way and a much more level way, because like I said previously, it distributes the weight around us rather than carrying 2 dumbbells. And this provides additional stimulation to our bone density. And if you are a woman over the age of 40 and you're worried about osteoporosis, this could be one exercise that you could do with a weighted vest that will help. Like I say in all my fitness videos in the description box below, that always go and get yourself checked out by the health professional before you take any exercise, especially if you have any health concerns. Make sure that you are fit and healthy enough to be able to do it. Number 7, walking can actually build strength without you going to the gym. Now, as a single mum myself, I can't go to the gym. One, I haven't got the time to go. I like to work out first thing in the morning when my son is in bed and I can't get him up at 4:30 in the morning to take him to the gym with me. And as well as that, I'm always looking at ways of cutting costs, so I don't actually want to spend money in a gym. So I work out at home, and there are plenty of workout videos on my channel that you can go and follow along with. Sometimes I do my own because I'm a trained fitness instructor. Sometimes I'll put one on YouTube because it's completely and utterly free. But many women think that strength training involves going to the gym and lifting heavy. And yes, that is extremely beneficial. And if you can do that and can lift heavy, that is going to work wonders, not just for your bone health, but for your mind and just for your entire body. I have done another video on strength training, which I'll link in the description box below and in the cards above. So go and check that out after you've watched this one to know more about strength training and why we should do it. Traditional strength training, like I said, is absolutely excellent, but walking can also be beneficial because you are using a lot of muscles, your glutes, your calves, your quads, your hamstrings, and even your upper body if you are going for a bit more of a fast-paced walk. And if you wanted to make it harder and activate those muscles a little bit more, you could always do an uphill walk. So like I said before, a weighted vest can add more resistance for you and give you a mild strength building activity. It's not like lifting heavy weights at the gym. However, it is still beneficial because you're still using all those muscles with a weighted vest. And like I said, your legs, your core, your back and your upper body, because that's where you're holding the weighted vest, they all have to work harder, which will bring more circulation, more oxygen and more blood to the muscles and the brain. A weighted vest is an easier way to add resistance to your walks without having to go and spend any money or time in the gym if you don't have any money or don't have any time to go to one. Number 8, it actually improves your posture and your balance, which is fantastic, especially as you get older. Because maintaining our posture and maintaining our balance as we get older is extremely important, because there are some older people that walk around like this because their posture's not completely correct. So working on our posture now as we're a little bit younger will help us later in life. I understand that that isn't the main reason why a lot of people hunch over. There are lots of medical reasons, but if we work on our posture now, then that's actually going to be more beneficial for us later in life, because good posture can actually help relieve aches and pains. As we get older, we seem to be a bit more clumsy and seem to fall a little bit more, and falling can obviously, as our bones get weaker, can actually break more easier. But if we have good posture and good balance, it's going to make it harder for us to fall because we're a bit more steady on our feet and we're holding ourselves correctly. Because walking naturally encourages coordination and body awareness. Now, if you add a weighted vest onto that as well, it can actually encourage you to stand taller and engage in those core muscles, which is where all our balance kind of comes from. And the more we do this, our posture will improve and we'll have more body awareness just to do general everyday activities. Number 9, I love this one, and if you've watched previous videos, you know I struggle with this the most, but I am starting to sleep better now I'm in a new home, and that is that walking helps us sleep better. Now, as we get older, sleep just becomes a challenge anyway. As we go into the perimenopause and menopause stage of our life, we tend to sleep even less. It's one of the symptoms that women have is insomnia, so sleep can be a very troubling time when we're over 40 in a perimenopause and menopause stage of our life. And walking can actually help regulate our body's natural rhythm, and it can reduce stress, which can ultimately help us have a better night's sleep. If you walk often enough, there has been reports shown that walkers can fall asleep faster, they can sleep more deeply, they wake feeling a little bit more refreshed than they would if they just sat all day doing nothing. And again, a weighted vest just adds that extra little bit of resistance, and when you take it off, you just feel a little bit lighter and a little bit more relaxed. And number 10, my favourite one, if you watch my other channel, Solo Mum to One, where I talk a lot about frugal living and saving money and on the budget, you know I'm going to love this one, and that is it's free. Unless you invest in a weighted vest, or unless you've already got a rucksack with weights at home that you can add into the rucksack, the weighted vest doesn't cost an awful lot of money, but once you've made that one investment, that's it. You don't need to invest in it again unless you want to go heavier. There's no gym membership, there's no expensive equipment, there's nowhere that you need to find lots of space to store it somewhere. And it's not complicated to do. Walking is just one foot in front of the other. Now, I understand that not everybody in the world can walk, unfortunately, but if you can, walking is a great exercise to do for our mind and our body. So where can you walk? Anywhere you want. Anywhere you want. As I said, I usually walk around by my son's school before he finishes school so that I can go and grab him afterwards, and it gives me a little bit of a break before we do all the after school activities. You could walk around your neighbourhood, you could walk around a park, you can go with a friend or family member. When I first started walking, I used to go walking with my cousin. Every single Wednesday night she would come to my house and we would go for a 30 to 40 minute walk and just have a natter. I wouldn't even realise how far we walked because we were talking, but walking was doing us so much good. And you can even listen to music, a podcast, or if you are doing a course or something, you've got Audible and it's an audio course, you can listen to your course. And you can listen to your course while you're on a walk. So if you're brand new to exercise and you want to get into, and you want to start feeling fit and healthy, walking is a great place to start. You don't need a weighted vest to start with. If you don't want one, you can just go for a nice walk. But is a weighted vest worth it? For me personally, yes, I love my weighted vest very much. I'm literally, as I finish this recording, I'm actually going to put it on and I'm going to go for a walk for half an hour just to clear my head before I come back and edit the video. I absolutely love my weighted vest. I feel lighter when I take it off. I feel good. I feel like I'm working harder. I feel like it's working my entire body, not just my legs. I really love my weighted vest. But if you're new to a weighted vest, start light, start simple, and then build up as you go. Or go for a walk, but go for a shorter walk with the weighted vest on, see how you feel, and just increase the walk every single time you go for a walk with the weighted vest on. And focus on good posture. So a weighted vest, do you need it to go walking? No, you don't need it to go walking. Would I advise it? Yes, I think it's a great thing to have. It's a very small investment, but it's also not necessary if you don't want to invest in it. Walking is one of the most powerful things that somebody could do, especially if you're over 40 in the perimenopause and menopause stage. for your mind and your body. I love to strength train, so I've already done my workout this morning. Now I'm going to go for a walk to clear my head. But if you are an absolute beginner, start off with a 20 to 30 minute walk with no vest. And the more you do it consistently, I do an intentional walk 4 to 5 times a week. If I can fit it in the weekend, I will, but I've obviously got my son with me then. But I love to walk 4 to 5 times a week. Being consistent with your walking will help you see the benefits as time goes on. So I would love to know from you, do you walk? If you do, how long do you walk for? Do you do it on your own? Do you do it with a friend? And do you have a weighted vest, or is a weighted vest something that you are going to start looking into to invest for the future? I'd love to know in the comment box below, so do leave your comments there. I love talking to each and every one of you. I hope that you've enjoyed today's video. Let me know if you have by like, share and subscribing to the video, and I will see you on the next one.